What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel where we talk everything money and finances. We got a good topic for you guys today. We're going to be talking about why am I so broke? I want you guys to understand why you might be struggling financially and how you can overcome those. I want to first start out by saying I am not a CPA or a financial advisor. These are my personal experiences, things that I've educated myself on and have found that have worked for me. And I strive to share that with you guys because hopefully I can help you guys with that as well. But before we get into our topic, I just ask that you do two things for me. Hit that like and subscribe button for more content coming down the line. So let's get into our topic for today. So I want to first start out in talking about why I chose this topic. For me growing up, it was so common to hear people complain about being broke. They always wondered why they were so broke. In fact, it created this normalcy for me in my circle of friends that I surrounded myself with of not having it together financially. So I thought it was normal not to have enough money to pay the bills. I thought it was normal to have thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and I thought it was normal to make bad financial decisions. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that I've learned to help you on your financial journey if you're in that place that I was in a few years ago, and how you can move past being broke by understanding the reasons why. So let's get into number one. So the first reason that you may find yourself struggling financially is that most people do not create a budget. Now, I know if you're a millennial like me, you hate that term budget. I remember growing up and people telling me to budget, but I'm like, there's no way I'm going to budget. I don't need to know how much money is coming in. If I look at it, it would give me anxiety. But really, the purpose of a budget is not necessarily to restrict your spending, but rather is for you to understand how much money is coming into your household and how much is going out. So you need to know exactly how much your bills are every single month and how much you're making so that you know how much money you have for some of those extra things that you may want, as well as saving money for a quote unquote rainy day. So I encourage everybody, if you have not started one, just have a budget. One of the tools that I use that I love, and this is not a paid endorsement from them, but I love the Mint app or mint.com. It allows you to plug in all your accounts and all your information, and you can see every month when your bills are due, how much money is in your account, how much you were in the positive or the negative for that month. And so it's a really useful tool. It's what I use to pay my bills every month on time. So I encourage you guys, try it and develop a budget. You can even do it within the app. But most importantly, everybody should have a budget. The second reason that may really be causing you to struggle or to be quote unquote so broke is impulse buying and spending. Now, I know this was a big one for me because for the longest, my emotions were attached to my money. So when I would go to work and I would get paid, there's a reason that I felt so good on payday. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to see the fruits of your labor, but there's an emotional attachment that most people have with money. So what do? It's like we have a hole in our pocket, right? We get paid and we can't wait to spend it. Or if you were like me, sometimes when I was feeling down, I would want to go spend money because I knew that it would make me feel better. So I would go to the mall and go buy some clothes or buy some tech that I didn't really need just to feel better about myself. And maybe some of you guys are affected by that. But we really need to try to curtail some of our impulse buying and spending. A good suggestion is to think about something that you may want before you buy it and maybe stick it on the refrigerator or keep it in front of you and wait 3 days and see if you still feel the same way about it 3 days later. If you feel the same way, go ahead and buy it if you can afford it. But if not, it means you probably didn't need it in the first place and you avoided impulsively buying or impulsively making that purchase. So I encourage you guys, think about your decisions before you buy something. All right. So the third reason, and this one gets a lot of people, is having a lot of bad debt. But when I describe debt, I'm not talking about necessarily your mortgage or your rent or your car note that you may have or even some student loans, even though I feel a particular way about student loans, but we'll get into that one in a later video. But those loans or that type of debt, usually you're paying low interest on. Maybe you're paying 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7%. They have an end date to them, so it's not like you're going to be trying to pay those off forever. And usually you need those to survive and get by on your day to day. The bad debt that I'm talking about is credit card debt or payday loans, which I also view as predatory lending. Those are your high interest debt that you may have where they're 15%, maybe all the way up to 27% that you're trying to pay back monthly that have no end date within sight, and it just continues to mound up. So in a later video, I'm going to talk about how to pay off credit card debt if you guys have it. But one of the things I really encourage you to do is to look at your credit report, number one, but also eliminate any credit cards that you may have or high interest loans that you may have so that you can start using your money more effectively and saving and investing, which we'll talk about later as well. Number four, I want to talk a little bit about the mindset that we may have sometimes, and that's of trying to keep up with the Joneses. So a lot of times we see people who may be financially well off, or maybe they're not struggling as we may view it, and we feel like we should have some of the same things that they have. So maybe because we stay in a certain neighborhood, we feel like we should have a certain car, or because our friends and family may go on vacations, we feel like we need to go on vacations as well. And once again, there's nothing wrong with some of those things in perspective, but you also have to realize what works for you. So I know for me, for a long time, I cared about giving the perception that my finances were 100% intact, that I was doing well. So I would buy nice clothes and try to present myself, quote unquote, quite differently. Some of the tech that I would buy, if you guys haven't already figured out, that's like my Achilles heel. I love tech and clothes, but I would buy those things just to fit in or to feel like I had what everybody else had. And I'm going to tell you, in the long run, it's really not that big of a deal. If you're at a different point in your financial journey than somebody else, that's perfectly okay. That's why we're making those videos, or making these videos and trying to help you guys out, because it's not a race to see who finishes first, but it's a race to see who can last and endure and course correct maybe some of the bad decisions we may have made in the past. So stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses won't be here forever. Number five is lack of education when it comes to managing money. So I remember when I was younger, coming up in school, like we would take home ec, which taught you how to cook and how to take care of a baby and how to sew. But one of the things that's never taught is financial education, how to balance a checkbook, how to manage your money, how much of your money should be going towards bills, how much should you save, how much should you invest. I feel like sometimes that's put on our parents to teach us, but what if they don't know about money either? So who do you turn to? Which is part of the reason that I started this channel, because I want people to understand how to manage money, how to take control of their finances, how to be financially free. So I encourage everyone to seek out education resources. Find someone that may be able to mentor you and help you on that path. Reading is very essential. I read a lot of books when it comes to financial wellness, but I also use the internet as a resource as well, because this is 2019. Who doesn't Google stuff, right? Financial education is very important. Once I learned about how to manage money for me and my household, I really saw a change in my finances, and I'm still reaping the benefits from it years down the road. So I encourage you guys, seek out information, educate yourself on money. All right. So the sixth reason, and I'm going to throw this one in as a bonus, why you may be struggling or why you may be so broke, is because you simply do not make enough money. And I feel like this is a huge one. A lot of times we may not be able to control exactly how much we make if we have a 9 to 5 job. Even if you have some sort of college degree or that allows you to get more money, most people are simply not paid what they're worth. Even been a big push for the lower minimum wage to be raised to $15 an hour here, because people recognize that they're not making enough money. So what is the solution to that? Make more money. This is 2019. There's a ton of ways that you can make more money. I know for me and my wife, we more particularly chose to start our own Young Living business. And the original goal with that was for us to be able to help with some bills around the house, to pay for some of the products that we wanted from the company. And that transition to now this is extra money that allows us to do more. Maybe we're able, and it helps us to save for a vacation without having to put it on a credit card. Or maybe I want to invest more money. It just allows us to take care of those extra things that we've been wanting to do for years. So if you're not making enough money, look into resources of how you can make more money. I always tell people you should have a side hustle, because remember that even though you may have a 9 to 5 job, you're always on the liability list for that employer, and that job could disappear at any moment. So always have something going on the side to help you make more money, so that you'll be able to take care of your finances. So that is all I have for you guys in this one. I hope you guys found this content of value and you're going to make application of some of it. Once again, remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, everyone, take care. Peace.